Hey everyone. Welcome to AfriHeart Stories, your go-to spot for African tales. Don't forget to like, subscribe and drop a comment. Now sit back and enjoy. The rain came down in thick sheets as Amaka stood under a cracked umbrella, her sandals soaked and her CV curled from moisture. She stared up at the towering black gates of the Osei estate. The mansion behind them looked like something out of a movie, grand, cold and untouchable. You sure you want this one? The Okada rider had asked with a half-smile as she stepped down earlier. They say no cleaner lasts there more than a week. I just need the job, Amaka had replied. For my mother. The intercom crackled. A voice, flat and emotionless, spoke. Name. Amaka. Amaka Okafor. I have an appointment. After a pause, the gates opened with a slow, metallic groan. Inside the air was colder. The mansion was all white tiles, glass and silence. A stern-looking woman in a crisp gray uniform greeted her. You're late, she said, glancing at her wristwatch. Mr. Osei doesn't tolerate tardiness. I'm sorry, Amaka murmured. The rain? No excuses, the woman snapped. Follow me. They passed hallways filled with expensive art and no warmth. The house felt less like a home and more like a museum. You'll clean only the main areas, the woman continued. Do not speak to Mr. Osei. Do not enter the study or the west wing. And absolutely, under no circumstance, should you interact with the girl. Amaka frowned. The girl? The daughter. She's delicate. You'll know her when you see her. Just then a door creaked open slightly. From within, Amaka glimpsed a small dark-skinned girl in a wheelchair. Her eyes were big, sad and curious. Then the door shut. She hasn't spoken in a year, the woman whispered before striding away. That night, Amaka sat in the cramped room given to her in the servant quarters. She called her mother, who was coughing on the other end of the line. Mama, I got the job, she said softly. God is good, her mother wheezed. Don't lose it, Amaka. We need the money for my medicine. Amaka bit her lip. I won't. Even if the house feels like a prison. You've survived worse. The next morning, Amaka started cleaning. Every surface sparkled already, but she dusted them anyway. She wore gloves, kept quiet and followed every rule. Until she heard humming. Soft. Off-key. Familiar. It wasn't coming from her. Amaka turned toward the west wing and saw the little girl again, Terra, watching her quietly from the shadows. Amaka smiled just slightly. Terra didn't speak. She just wheeled herself away. But Amaka had felt something shift. Not in the house but inside her. As she resumed dusting the grand chandelier, Amaka whispered under her breath, maybe this job is more than it seems. By her third day on the job, Amaka knew every corner of the mansion, but not its people. Cameras blinked red from high corners, tracking her every move. She had counted 7 already, all positioned to make sure no one stepped out of line. Eyes everywhere, whispered an older male gardener she met near the patio. Even in the kitchen. Amaka nodded silently. She'd learned fast. No lingering, no humming, no talking to the girl. And certainly no dancing. At breakfast, she caught another glimpse of Terra through the glass doors leading to the garden. The girl sat beneath a tree, unmoving. Her head bowed. The wheelchair looked too big for her fragile frame. She's not your concern, came a voice from behind. Amaka jumped. Mr. Osei stood there in a tailored suit, a tablet in hand. He hadn't made a sound approaching. Yes, sir, she muttered. His eyes, cold as winter, narrowed. Stick to your job and everything will be fine. She bowed slightly and scurried away. Her heart pounded as she retreated to the living room. As she dusted the bookshelves, she noticed one of the camera lights following her. A mechanical whirring like something breathing. She whispered to herself, this house is haunted, but by people, not ghosts. Later that afternoon, Amaka was mopping near the hallway when she heard soft wheels. Terra was approaching. Amaka stopped. She turned just slightly. Terra parked her chair a few feet away and stared. Neither of them spoke. Suddenly, the little girl reached into her lap and pulled out a crumpled paper. She extended it. Amaka hesitated, then took it. It was a simple drawing, a girl dancing under stars. Amaka looked up, but Terra had already wheeled away. That night, Amaka lay in bed staring at the drawing. The girl had drawn 2 figures. One tall, one small, both dancing under stars. The next morning, while sweeping near the entryway, Amaka found herself humming the lullaby her mother used to sing. Unconsciously. Terra appeared again, quiet as always, and sat watching her. Amaka froze, realizing she'd been humming. She glanced at the camera above. It blinked red. But when she looked at Terra, something stopped her from going silent. She began to sweep with exaggerated sways, back and forth, side to side, adding a rhythm to her steps. A silent dance of sorts. Terra's foot tapped. What? Then again. Amaka dared a smile. Terra met her eyes. She didn't smile back, but her eyes softened. Later, while cleaning the windows, Amaka heard hushed voices from the staff corridor. I saw the girl tap her foot, someone whispered. To the cleaner's song. No way. That child doesn't move. I swear. Something's changing. Amaka walked away before they saw her. Back in her room, she called her mother. Mama, the little girl, she listened today. Her mother coughed lightly. Children know love when they see it. Maybe she sees it in you. But I'm not even allowed to talk to her. Then speak with your heart. Amaka hung up and clutched the drawing once more. Tomorrow she would dance again. Carefully. But something inside her had already begun. The next morning, Amaka turned up the music in her headphones as she cleaned the living room, just loud enough for her alone. It was an old Afrobeat tune she loved. The rhythm reminded her of village parties as a child, where everyone danced barefoot on red sand. She caught Terra watching from behind the curtain. Without a word, Amaka dipped into a slow, silly dance, sweeping while doing a shoulder shimmy, turning with her mop like it was a dance partner. Terra's eyes grew wide. Then, just as Amaka gave a final spin and exaggerated bow, Terra smiled. Tiny. Quick. But real. Amaka stopped, her heart in her throat. Then came the sound of heavy footsteps. Mr. Ose. He stood frozen at the doorway watching the scene. His jaw tightened. His eyes flared. Out, he barked. Terra flinched. Amaka dropped her mop. Sir, I didn't mean. You broke the rules. I don't care if she smiled. Pack your things. You're done here. Behind him, Terra whimpered. Then cried. Loud, wrenching sobs. Her first real sound in months. Nathan turned sharply. Terra. But she wheeled away, sobbing as if something had been torn from her. Amaka stood frozen, tears forming in her eyes. I was just trying to help, she whispered. Nathan's face flickered, almost a wince. But he walked out without another word. Amaka sat on the servant's bed, her bag packed. The silence in the quarters was louder than ever. Even the maids avoided eye contact. She glanced at the photo Terra had drawn and sighed. Well, at least she smiled. Just then her phone buzzed. Unknown number. She hesitated, then answered. Amaka? It was the house manager's voice. Yes. Mr. Ose asked for you. Come back. Her heart skipped. What? He fired me. He changed his mind. She blinked. Why? He didn't say. Just come. Now. Amaka returned to the estate in the same raincoat she left in. At the front door, a silent butler waved her in. Nathan Ose stood at the stairwell. His arms folded. Face unreadable. She won't eat. Won't sleep. Just keeps crying for the dancing lady, he said quietly. Amaka looked down. I didn't mean to disrespect your rules. I made the wrong rules, he said after a pause. Amaka's eyes met his. She smiled, he added. For the first time in over a year. He stepped aside. She's waiting for you. Amaka nodded and walked quietly into the house. And this time, the cameras didn't matter. Terra sat in her wheelchair in the sunroom, eyes red from crying, body limp like a puppet without strings. She didn't look up when Amaka walked in, but the minute Amaka softly hummed that lullaby again, Terra's head snapped up. Hi there, Amaka whispered. Terra wheeled closer. From behind the glass doors, Nathan watched. Terra reached for Amaka's hand, her fingers cold but firm. Amaka kneeled. Missed me? Terra gave a silent nod. The butler cleared his throat gently. Mr. Ose would like to see you. Amaka followed him into the study, where Nathan stood before a floor-to-ceiling window, arms behind his back. She slept the moment you walked in, he said without turning. I'm glad, Amaka replied. He finally faced her. I was wrong. She was surprised to hear it. I thought silence was safety, he said. But, it's suffocating her. He hesitated, then added, I'd like you to stay. On your own terms. My terms. Engage with Terra however you see fit. No more rules. She studied him. This was a man choking on pride but swallowing it, for his daughter. I'll stay, Amaka said. But I want her to smile every day. Nathan nodded once. That's all I want too. That night, Amaka danced with a mop in the hallway again. And this time Terra clapped along. Days passed and with each one Terra opened up a little more. She wouldn't speak yet, but she laughed softly when Amaka told funny stories while folding towels. She mimicked moves when Amaka did slow, playful dances during chores. One afternoon in the quiet music room, Amaka twirled in slow circles with Terra's hands resting lightly in hers. Their makeshift dance wasn't perfect, but it was filled with joy. Then something happened. Terra whispered, again. Amaka stopped mid-spin. Did you? Terra nodded, smiling shyly. Again. From the hallway, Nathan stood frozen, a tablet in one hand, forgotten. She spoke, Amaka breathed. Nathan entered the room slowly, looking at his daughter like she was a ghost returned. Terra? The girl nodded. She said a word, he whispered, his voice thick. She danced, Terra said softly. Nathan blinked hard. She danced. That evening the entire mansion buzzed with whispers. The butler whispered it to the cook to the driver. The cleaner made the little madam talk. Amaka meanwhile tucked Terra into bed and whispered, "Your magic little star." Terra reached up and touched her cheek. That night Amaka cried into her pillow, but for once they were happy tears. Nathan paced in his office while the child therapist reviewed a video on the tablet. Terra sang again as she twirled in Amaka's arms. "This is remarkable," the doctor said. "She hasn't spoken in over a year," Nathan muttered. The doctor nodded. Her silence wasn't due to physical limitations, it was emotional trauma. Her brain shut down speech as a way to protect her. Nathan exhaled deeply, sitting at his desk. "We tried everything. Medication, therapy, tutors. But none of it worked because none of it brought joy," the doctor replied gently. "This cleaner, she makes her feel safe." "She's not just a cleaner," Nathan said softly. Meanwhile, Amaka sat with Terra outside, braiding flowers into a crown. Terra whispered, "You're like Mama?" Amaka froze. "Your Mama?" Terra nodded slowly. She danced too. Later that day, Nathan approached Amaka in the hallway. "The doctor thinks you're helping her in ways therapy never could." "I'm just being myself," she said. "Then, don't stop." He paused. "I also wanted to say, thank you." For once, Nathan's voice didn't sound cold. It sounded human. Amaka gave a small nod. "You're welcome." It didn't take long for the mansion staff to notice the transformation. Terra laughed now, quiet but real. She sat in the garden again. She asked questions. She even began drawing people again, always with Amaka in the picture. "Did you hear?" whispered the driver to the gardener. She called Amaka, "my best friend." The chef added, "I saw them twirling in the kitchen." Terra was giggling. But whispers soon left the gate. A deliverman posted a blurry photo online. Amaka spinning Terra in the garden. Caption, "Cleaner revives billionaire's daughter with joy." By evening the post had over 10,000 shares. Amaka only found out when the butler handed her a printed article. "You're going viral," he muttered. Nathan stormed into the kitchen, holding his phone. "Did you authorize this?" Amaka shook her head. "I didn't even know it existed." He sighed. "The internet has no walls." She bit her lip. "Is this bad?" He looked at her for a long time, then simply said, "For us? Yes." She turned to leave, but he added, "But for her, it might just be good." Amaka was cleaning Nathan's office when she bumped the edge of his desk. A frame clattered to the floor. "Shoot," she whispered, kneeling. As she picked it up, she noticed something odd. The photo inside was of Nathan, Terra, and a woman. The woman's face had been scratched out, deliberately. Terra was in her arms. Both were smiling. Nathan looked happier, lighter. "Who is she?" Amaka whispered to herself. "Put that down." Amaka jumped. Nathan stood at the door, face dark. "I didn't mean to." "Leave." She backed away. "I'm sorry." He didn't answer. She left the room shaken. Later, she sat with Terra and said, "Your mom, was she funny?" Terra nodded. "She was soft," the girl whispered. "She smelled like cinnamon." "Do you miss her?" Terra nodded again, slower this time. Nathan watched from the hallway. That night he picked up the broken frame from the floor. He stared at the scratched face, then quietly set it back down, this time face down. The town was buzzing for the annual Founders' Day celebration. From the Osei Mansion's balcony, the fireworks could be seen in perfect clarity. But Terra sat quietly in her room, legs curled, watching the sky through a narrow window. Amaka entered softly, holding a shawl. "Want to go see the real thing?" she whispered. Terra's eyes lit up. "Outside." Amaka nodded. Just for a bit. Downstairs, the household staff was distracted. No one noticed Amaka sneak Terra out through the back patio. They sat near the garden fountain, the sky erupting in colors. Boom. Gold. Wisp. Blow. Pop red and green. Terra clapped, small at first, then louder. Her smile stretched wide, joy radiating from her. From the second-floor balcony, Nathan stood in the shadows, watching them. For the first time in over a year, he saw his daughter laugh like her heart had never been broken. And beside her, Amaka beaming, unafraid. A small smile tugged at the corner of Nathan's lips. He didn't stop them. He just watched. Back inside, Terra whispered, "Thank you for breaking the rules." Amaka laughed. "You helped me break them too." 2 days later, Amaka was dusting near the staircase when the butler approached her stiffly. "Mr. Osei requests your presence, for dinner. Tonight." Amaka blinked. "Me?" He nodded. That evening she wore a simple black dress, not fancy but neat. Her palms were sweaty. She entered the dining hall slowly. Nathan was already seated. Terra sat between 2 plates, grinning. "Sit please," Nathan said, motioning. They ate in relative silence, until Terra chirped, "Amaka tells funny stories." Nathan raised a brow. "Does she?" Amaka chuckled nervously. "Just silly ones." "Tell one," Terra insisted. Amaka launched into a tale about a goat that followed her home from market and ate her slippers. Terra giggled so hard she snorted. Even Nathan cracked a brief, startled laugh. Then Terra spoke, clearly, confidently. "She makes my heart dance." Amaka's spoon paused midair. Nathan stared at his daughter. "You said that, so clearly," he whispered. Terra shrugged like it was no big deal. After dinner, as Amaka helped Terra into bed, Nathan lingered at the doorway. "Thank you," he said, barely above a whisper. Amaka looked at him, surprised. "For dinner?" "No," he said slowly. "For bringing her back to life." 3 days later it happened. A gossip blog published a blurry photo of Amaka and Terra dancing in the garden. The headline screamed, "Who is the cleaner melting the ice billionaire's heart?" Amaka's phone blew up with calls from unknown numbers. Friends messaged her, stunned. She rushed into the kitchen. Nathan was already there, phone in hand. "I swear I didn't leak it," she blurted. "I know," he replied tightly. "Someone must have taken it from outside the gate." Nathan exhaled. "It doesn't matter how. What matters is, Terra's exposed." Amaka's eyes filled. "I would never put her in harm's way." He studied her. "I believe you. But the story's out now." Nathan nodded grimly. "Damage control starts now." That night, Amaka stayed in her room, anxious. Terra knocked on her door. "You're sad," the girl whispered. "I just don't want to ruin anything." Terra touched her hand. "You didn't ruin anything. You made me dance." The next morning, Nathan sat at the head of a long boardroom table. His board members were already mid-rant. "You're risking the company's brand. This media frenzy is damaging investor confidence. You can't let a housemaid become the face of your family." Nathan's fingers tapped the desk. "She's not the face," he said quietly. "She's the reason my daughter is smiling again." The room went silent. "She speaks now. It's dances. All because of that woman." The PR manager cleared his throat. "If you don't act now, we'll lose momentum. Fire her. End the speculation." Nathan stood. "No." Shock rippled across the table. "Let them speculate," he continued. "My daughter's healing is not a scandal, it's a miracle." He left the boardroom with shoulders squared, phone buzzing. In his office he texted Amaka. "No matter what they say, you belong here." Meanwhile, Terra drew a new picture. 3 figures this time, hand in hand, under fireworks. Nathan found Amaka in the garden. "Walk with me." They strolled in silence for a while before he spoke. "My wife, her name was Adejua. She died 2 years ago. Car crash." Terra was in the back seat. Amaka's hand went to her chest. "She watched her mother die," he said quietly. "And I watched her disappear." "She didn't just lose her mom, she lost you too," Amaka said gently. Nathan nodded. "I shut down. Built walls. I thought if I controlled everything I could protect her. And now, I realize joy can't be controlled. And neither can healing." They stopped by the fountain. "You brought her back to me," he said, voice trembling. "She brought me to her," Amaka replied. Their eyes locked, soft, warm. Neither of them said another word. But something new had already begun. Terra twirled in front of the mirror, her arms slightly awkward but full of joy. "You're ready?" Amaka said, clapping as she sat on the edge of the bed. Terra beamed. "You'll dance with me, right?" "Of course, Star Girl." They were preparing for the Children's Rehab Benefit Showcase, a public event featuring stories of recovery and hope. One of the therapists had nominated Terra, stunned by her progress. Nathan was hesitant at first. "It's a lot of people." "Are you sure?" Terra nodded. "They need to see what joy looks like." On the evening of the event, the hall was packed. Parents, doctors, philanthropists. Camera flashes popped. Backstage, Amaka adjusted Terra's floral dress and brushed a curl from her forehead. "Ready?" Terra gave a nervous nod. When the curtain lifted, soft instrumental music began to play. Amaka took Terra's hand. Together they moved. Amaka's feet danced gently, and Terra followed her rhythm in the wheelchair, spinning, swaying, glowing. Then near the end Terra stood. Only for a second. The crowd gasped. She smiled. And then the mic picked her voice. "Thank you." The crowd exploded with applause. Some stood. Others cried. Nathan, seated in the front row, didn't clap. He wiped his eyes. Later backstage he pulled them both into a hug. "You two just rewrote history." Terra whispered, "We danced it." The next morning the household felt colder. Whispers in the hallway. Half smiles. Lingering stares. In the pantry Amaka overheard two maids. "She thinks she's special because he took her to the benefit. And because the girl said, 'Thank you' on stage. She's just a cleaner. Let her not forget." Amaka's hands trembled as she placed Terra's breakfast tray on the counter. Later, while she folded towels, the head cook approached with a smirk. "Rumors are flying. They say the billionaire's heart isn't so cold anymore." "I'm just doing my job," Amaka replied calmly. "Oh honey, you've been doing more than that." That night, Nathan called her to the library. "What's going on?" "I don't know what they think they see. But the house feels different. Heavy." He looked down. "I'm sorry. They're reacting to change. I came here to clean floors. Not fight house politics." "Then don't fight. Step above it." But later that night, Amaka packed her small bag and left a note on Terra's bed. "You are the light. Never stop dancing." Then she disappeared into the night. The sun rose on a quiet mansion. Nathan noticed it first. No humming, no soft footsteps, no smell of Amaka's tea in the hallway. He knocked on her door. Empty. He stormed into the kitchen. "Where is she?" The butler swallowed. "She left, sir. Last night." In Terra's room the little girl clutched the note Amaka left. "She's gone," she whispered. Nathan knelt. "She'll be back." But Terra's eyes were hollow again. She didn't eat breakfast, didn't draw, didn't hum. By evening she was curled in bed, her back to the door. Nathan sat beside her. "I tried to protect her. From gossip. From judgment. But I didn't protect her from this." No response. "Should I bring her back?" Terra turned slowly. "She wasn't a guest, Daddy. She was family." Nathan stood, moved by her words. And for the first time since his wife died, he felt the weight of being alone. The interview was meant to be about his tech merger. But halfway through Nathan paused, then took off his mic. "May I say something off script?" The host blinked. Sure." Nathan looked directly into the camera. "My daughter Terra was silent for over a year. Then someone walked into our lives and changed everything." Images from the showcase appeared on screen. She wasn't a therapist. Not a doctor. Just a cleaner. But she saw what no one else did, my daughter's light. The host leaned in. "Are you talking about the woman from the photo?" "Yes. Her name is Amaka. And if you're watching this..." He took a deep breath. "Terra needs you. And if I'm being honest, I do too." By morning the clip went viral. #BringBackAmaka trended for hours. In a tiny flat across town, Amaka watched with tears streaming down her face. She picked up her phone, paused, then smiled. Amaka arrived at the mansion just before sundown. Terra was waiting on the porch in her pajamas, barefoot, eyes full of hope. She ran, not wheeled, into Amaka's arms. "You came back," she sobbed. "I had to. There's still more dancing to do." Nathan stepped outside silent. "I'm sorry," he said. "You needed time," Amaka replied. "So did I." He looked down. "You healed more than Terra, you know." She smiled faintly. "Maybe you were both waiting for the music." They sat in the garden that night just like before. Fireflies danced above them. The air was warm. Terra spun in a slow circle, arms wide. Nathan reached for Amaka's hand. I want to start a foundation, he said, for children like Terra. And I want you to help me run it. Amaka froze. Me? You were never just a cleaner. You're the reason we're whole. Terra twirled and yelled, we're a team. And then she whispered to herself, barely loud enough. A family. Amaka smiled. A tear rolled down Nathan's cheek. And as the stars blinked above them, they danced, not to music, but to healing, to love, to everything that mattered. Liked it? Thumbs up, subscribe, and join the AfriHeart fam. Your support fuels our stories. Until next time.